What album do you think the classic period actually started?
I wanted to see. Okay, so in my mind, I feel like Stevie has like I call it three eras, right? You've got the
Uh,
little era,
uh,
which runs up until Signed, Sealed, Delivered, right? And then you've got what I call his sort of golden era, which is where I'm coming from, all the way through Hotter Than July, right? And then you've got like the later period, which is everything after Later Than July, like Woman in Red, and then all that. And out of that sort of what I call the golden era, everything from where I'm coming from, I think the classic period is everything from Music of My Mind to Harder Than July. I think that what that man put out in those albums, and you have to remember too, Music of My Mind, Talking Book Intervisions, and First Finale, I think those all were released within something like 28 months or
yeah,
something. Like it's a
Oh,
really short period
yeah.
where all of those albums were released, right? That group of music, where I'm coming from, all the way through Higher Than July, I don't think it's. I think it's some of the best music that any songwriter has ever produced. And when I say any songwriter, I mean like Cole Porter. I'm putting into that list, right? Duke Ellington. I'm putting into that is a level of musicianship that I don't know. There's not a lot that equals it in my mind. Everything in there is just superlative, exceptional, brilliant music. And some of it we can debate is better than others for sure, but I mean, it's stunning stuff. I don't know what for y'all is like his classic period because everyone
I
talks
was
about it.
gonna I was gonna say because I when I first started Junior's World of Soul, I did a Stevie episode, but that joint was
Mm.
terrible. The lighting was terrible. I would never want y'all to see that video ever. It's on private and you won't see it. So I but
I'm
I
gonna
did it
bug you
because
until you show it to me.
yeah, right.
yep.
But I think his classic period started with Music in My Mind. I agree with you because um I have some people that say they do start it with where I'm coming from, but I said I can't really give that because again,
That's the
that's why I was like,
bridge.
again, that's where
That's the
the
bridge.
Funk Brothers was still a part of that. If
Mhm.
we gonna call it a classic period of Stevie, you got to start with Music of My Mind because that was him and only him. He had the
Mhm.
creative control of everything. Nobody could tell him what to play. Nobody could tell him what to do. But I also see a lot of people say they started with Intervisions. I mean, Talking Book. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
How the
Yeah,
heck did I go from
I
Talking
get
Book and
that.
we talking about it? God, Lord have mercy. It
Understand that.
go. They started. Some people started at Talking Book, and then they go from there. But I'm
Yeah,
like, you can't miss Music of My Mind because if we didn't get that, we wouldn't have gotten Talking Book. Music
that's
of My
right.
Mind had to happen. So Stevie knew, okay, this is what I need to do to add on to this to get Talking Book. You know what I'm saying? Because we wouldn't have been able to get if we wouldn't have got it like a Superwoman and I think we wouldn't have been able to You Got It Bad Girl. Like we wouldn't have been able
That's
to
right.
get these type of songs if
That's right.
we didn't get Music of My Mind. So I always start his classic period from Music of My Mind to
Yes.
I actually stop it at Songs in the Key of Life. That's what I
Okay.
started because
Okay.
I always feel like after that it's like it's a new era now. Like this is when Stevie, it's the 70s, he had it on lock. Now we're in the 80s, is a whole new thing. And then you had that Secret Life of Plants in there, which was the soundtrack, but still, it's still part of that. So I stopped it from Music of My Mind to Songs in the Key of Life. That's the classic
Well,
period for
let
me.
me wait,
God,
Elise. What about you? What's the classic period for
classic
you?
period, yes. Yeah.
It starts with Music in My Mind. The same as JR. It stops at Songs that Kill Life for me.
Okay. Okay. So no Secret Life of Plants are Harder Than July.
I no, I don't. And and those are two things that I love, but it's
Yeah.
there. Like JR said, there's for one, there's a change in music. Period. You
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and and I feel like well, not Secret Life of Plants, but with Hot in July, it was starting to lean into the other stuff going on.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. It just takes it out of that capsule for me. It
Mhm.
wasn't a bad thing. I, I love Hot in July. But and except for like one or two songs. But like, no, I love that album.